Hello and happy weekend. We got a chance of a shower or a thunderstorm today, and I could use some rain at my house. I'm beginning to think that if you've got a open house or a wedding to plan, you should really plan to have that in my backyard because you're assured that it's not going to rain on your event. Wow. I mean, my grass is burning out, and we've been really spending just twice a day going out and watering the garden that we have growing here. We'll be getting a few good things out of that, some lettuce and some spinach and whatnot. I want to thank everybody that's aboard from the Ottawa News Network. Thanks so much for coming along and enjoying the show today. Let's start out with a look at some low temperatures on Friday. It was really chilly in parts of Michigan. Early Friday morning, the temperature dropped to 37 at Roscommon, 38 near Escanaba, Atlanta and Rexton down to 39. Grayling at 40, and I mean, we're in the middle of the warmest couple of weeks of the year, and you're seeing temperatures in the 30s here in Michigan. That's pretty amazing. Cadillac dipped down to 41, Marquette and Pellston 42, Ludington at 44, and Big Rapids at 48. And if you look at the picture, there's a new camera that the GLERL people, Great Lakes Environmental Research Lab, have put up on the lighthouse there at Alpena, and that should be a fine picture to show back toward the city. You can pick out the three tall churches there in the background and the pleasure cruise going out through the channel coming back, actually. That picture looking more toward the west. So let's go on and talk about the lake forecast here. We've got the Chicago to Mackinac yacht race going on. Winds a little bit on the variable side, but they should be turning more to the southwest here today. Waves will be increasing to around 1 to 2 feet. Now, when the winds were north, it stirred up some colder water from below the surface, and some of the water temperatures really kind of took a dive. During the day on Friday, we got low temperatures of water temperatures of 57 at Muskegon, 62 at Hoffmaster, 65 at Grand Haven, 55 at Holland. Well, the water coming out of the channel was 77. So that's a big difference, swim in the channel, I guess. Saugatuck at 65, the South Haven buoy 75, and Benton Harbor 75. So with the southwest wind, that warmer water is going to get back toward shore. Reed's Lake, with the sun out during the day, did heat back up to 81 during the afternoon. And that's a picture from GLERL showing a nice sailboat going out on the lake. Pretty nice day out there for that. All right, severe weather, where's it going to be? Could be over us. Take a look at that. The yellow color indicating a slight risk for severe weather. I think the best bet for severe thunderstorms, I think the storms are going to form in eastern Iowa and then move into Illinois, maybe southern Wisconsin, and into Indiana. And there's a little bit better chance of a thunderstorm as you go south. But I got the chance of rain today at 60%, so that's better than 50-50. The Storm Prediction Center says scattered severe storms are possible over parts of the Midwest and over the central high plains. Areas of damaging winds and hail will be possible. And that slight risk area, that yellow color, goes all the way up to US 10 and across to Saginaw Bay. So keep an eye out for things. Of course, we'll keep you posted if something happens. Actually, I won't keep you posted because I will be on a plane heading out west. But the Storm Team 8, of course, with 5 meteorologists, most of any station in the market, will be there to serve you. And I would imagine if anything happens at all, they will have multiple meteorologists in to track what's going on. But we're in a 2% tornado outlook. That's only 2%, 15% for wind damage report within 25 miles of a given position. So that means you're 7-8 times more likely to see wind damage than a tornado. And tornadoes that we've been getting this year have been really weak. 90% of the tornadoes in the United States this year are in the weak category, EF0 or EF1. And then we turn to Sunday, and Sunday the storms track south of us as a little bit of a cool front comes through, but a pretty large marginal risk area from eastern Montana all the way out into the Atlantic Ocean. But anybody traveling south, keep an eye on the forecast, especially in the Ohio River Valley down there toward Louisville and Cincinnati. They could see some stronger storms there. Well, we're going to take a little time out right now and say thank you to our sponsors, starting with Complete Care Concierge.
Need a fast, efficient, and affordable cleaning service? Complete Care Concierge has you covered. Serving all of West Michigan, we offer one-time, daily, weekly, and bi-weekly cleans, plus move in, move out. We also service apartment hallways and laundry rooms. Our work is guaranteed, gift cards are available, and we even clean on weekends. There's no better way to say I love you than giving a tired mom a break from dishes and laundry. Are you a busy professional? Pamper yourself by taking vacuuming and dusting off your plate. Office manager, keep your business looking and feeling its very best. Call 616-264-1397 today for a spotless space and total peace of mind.
When your home needs help, you might not know where to start. Why not ask Ace? We're always here to help with Ace Handyman Services. Our talented craftsmen handle everything from drywall and carpentry to doors and kitchens. We're the neighbors you trust to get the job done right. Let's get started. Book your handyman appointment today. Ace Handyman Services, bringing helpful to your home.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Well, we lose another couple of minutes of daylight here. Sunrise time 6:21, sunset at 9:16. Average high and low at 83 and 63. That doesn't move in the month of July. Record high temperature for today was 96. That occurred twice in 1935 and again in 2013. And the record low temperature 47 in 1979. That was a cool year. We had a lot of cold weather throughout the year. Cool temperatures in summer and really cold temperatures. And we had the maximum amount of ice cover on the Great Lakes in 1979. So that's interesting. All right, let's go on here and we'll talk about rainfall. And you can see where the heaviest rain is going to be. Thunderstorms will be starting in Iowa and then moving off toward the southeast, producing, it says in the yellow color there, 1.5 inches of rain over a 3-day period. You can see rainfall amounts to be much later here in Michigan. Look at the rain still falling in parts of Arizona and New Mexico. So that's interesting. Not much out in Seattle where I'm headed and Calgary. All right, let's zoom in a little bit and take a look at the rain here in Michigan. Thunderstorms be crossing the lake either west to east or west-northwest to east-southeast. And the rainfall amounts generally 1/4 to 1/2 inch. And we'll see if we can get a few spots more than that. There's a lot of places in Ottawa, Kent, northern Allegan County, and southern Muskegon County that could really use some rain right now. All right, high temperatures here on Friday were kind of interesting. 81 at Holland's Airport, the regional airport. That was the warmest spot in the area. Benton Harbor did reach 80. 78 was the high temperature in Grand Rapids. The first time since mid-June we had two days in a row with the temperature staying below 80 degrees. The Muskegon Airport was 78. The Muskegon Pier down at the bottom was 71 for a high temperature, and the Muskegon Beach 72. Ludington's pleasant 73. We've got 74 at the Holland Beach, and Kalamazoo once again a degree behind Grand Rapids at 77. I'll take a look at the tropical outlook here for just a little bit. We did have a tropical depression that was down toward New Orleans, produced some heavy rain there and a little bit of local flooding, but not much. A lot of the moisture from that is giving scattered thunderstorms to much of the southern United States. And we have a very tiny, measly, it probably won't be anything, depression in the Pacific Ocean well west of Mexico, so it's not bothering anybody. Just a 20% chance that that would develop into a tropical storm. And then we take a look out into the western Pacific and Indian Oceans. One little tiny tropical system down there in the northern Indian Ocean is really not going anywhere. It's just kind of meandering around and doing much of nothing, far away from land. We got a big swirl of clouds up toward the Philippines. If you look where that top arrow is pointing, tropical storm Wipfa is what it looks like, and that's crossing Luzon and heading west toward China. Not a super major typhoon. Typhoon, by the way, is the same thing as a hurricane, but it has a lot of cloud cover with it, some decent rain, and some gusty winds. And I would not be surprised to see some 50, 60 mile an hour wind gusts with that as it continues to move west toward China. Okay, on to headlines here. There'll be a chance of a shower or a thunderstorm today. The farther south you are, the better the chance for rain. So if you're in Berrien County, good chance you'll catch a shower or thunderstorm. If you're in Ludington, well, maybe. Dry weather expected here for Sunday afternoon and Monday. I can't rule out a shower real early on Sunday, but don't let that disturb your plans. Chance of a shower or storm again here late Tuesday into Wednesday, and then hot and humid weather moving back in for the middle of the week. Taking a look at today's weather forecast, high temperatures will be in the low 80s, pretty typical for this time of year. We do have that shower or thunderstorm. Humidity only down to 60% during the afternoon, so it will be on the muggy side. Southwest winds 5 to 15 miles an hour, probably around 10 miles an hour much of the day. And taking a look at some high temperatures across the area here, 84 for Grand Rapids and South Haven at 81. It's a little warmer to the south where Gary, Indiana reaches 87 as opposed to the 84 in Grand Rapids, and 70s once you get off to the north. So a very comfortable day if you're heading north toward Traverse City or Houghton Lake. Farther north, where the wind may be coming a little bit off of Lake Superior, 65, the high temperature there on the beach at Marquette, 69 at Copper Harbor, and 68 at Sault Ste. Marie. And the outlook here for Sunday, temperatures pretty similar, 82 for Grand Rapids, 78 South Haven, 79 Ludington. Temperatures are back into the low 70s or into the 70s throughout much of the UP. So all in all, it should be a pretty good weekend. And the outlook here for the next 5 days, 82 for Saturday and Sunday and Monday, and then 85 Tuesday, 90 on Wednesday. Depends on the cloud cover and rain. We got the chance of rain at 60% Saturday, and then again 50% on Wednesday. So like I said, if you need some rain, I hope you get it. The 8-day forecast continues to print out a lot of hot weather across much of the United States, centered on the Rockies and the Plain States. Temperatures closer to normal once you head toward New England to the east and toward the west coast where I am heading. And you can see in Alaska there, a little bit variable, a little bit warmer as you head off toward the southwest relative to average. And then we take a look at rainfall, and you can see that we've got near to above normal rainfall across the northern U.S. and dry weather in New Mexico for a change. That area has seen above normal precipitation so far this summer. Well, Michelle is out at the airport, but she sent some slides along for us to look at. This is interesting. Somebody says, hi, Bill. Oh, this is Tony. I see his name down there at the bottom. July 17, I noticed high and low clouds. They were scattered. So you look off to the south, you can see the two different types of clouds right there. The top clouds are a form of cirrus made up of tiny ice crystals. The bottom clouds are cumulus or stratocumulus, and they are made up of tiny drops of water that are so tiny that the air can hold them up. Tony writes, in Hudsonville, it seems we're in a rain drought. Yes, indeed, it does. You are in a rain drought. Somebody is spreading rain repellent around Hudsonville, I think. But again, as I mentioned, Allegan, Ottawa, Muskegon, and Kent counties really could use some rain especially. And the inverse of winter, when we got all the lake effect snow, that was true. Some places there picking up over 70 inches of snow on the winter toward the Hudsonville area. So interesting. And we have another picture to show you that a little bit later on. This is my last show before my trip, so Michelle will kind of be taking over. We're going with Holiday Vacations out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, is where they're headquartered. But their trips go all over the place, and we're going to be taking the one to the Canadian Rockies, to Vancouver, and to Victoria, the capital there of Vancouver Island. Let's take a look right now at where we're headed. First of all, the itinerary is on the right. You can kind of follow me along. I'll try and post some stuff, but we have one night we'll be on a train, so I can't imagine that there'll be. And I'm with the crowd. I'm meeting new friends and whatnot, so I'm not going to be spending a lot of time online. That's for sure. But we fly from here to Denver, and then Denver to Calgary, and we go up to Banff into the mountains for a couple of nights, and that should be. I haven't been to Banff in about 45 years. I was there once, and it is a beautiful place if you ever get up there. But Banff, Lake Louise area there, we're going to get a lecture from a Mountie. So Dudley Do-Right will be coming to tell us all about how the Mounties keep Canada safe. We're up to Jasper, nice park up there. No fires in that area, so we should be good to go. And then we hop a train in Jasper and take that down to Vancouver. And that will be an overnight. And I know I'm not going to sleep because I'm going to want to be looking out the window. And, there's a lot of twilight this time of year that you can see quite a bit. That area, of course, is farther north than Grand Rapids here. We go out, we take a ferry to Victoria on Vancouver Island, and we go to the Bouchard Gardens, which are absolutely gorgeous. And I mean, the tour pays for you to go there, but I'm taking my Myers membership anyway because we have a reciprocal, and if there's any reason that they won't let me in, well, they'll certainly let me in when I show them my Myers pass. And then we fly from Victoria down to Seattle, from Seattle to Chicago, and Chicago back to Grand Rapids. So it should be a great trip. We're really looking forward to it. And like I said, I haven't been in that area since the early 1980s. There's the Canadian Rockies, some beautiful mountains, and I'm sure we'll be seeing some snow up there too. So I'll be able to give a snow report in mid-July. Really interesting. All right, what else do we have here for us? Some historical information for you. July 19th, 1838. Now, I didn't know this. This is interesting. The Clinton to Kalamazoo Canal Project begins to much fanfare, meant to be a system of canals as an alternative to shipping on the Great Lakes. Yeah, it's easier to find shore there if something starts to go wrong. The canals were supposed to be 216 miles from near Mount Clemens, which is over north of Detroit, to the Kalamazoo River. On July 19th, 1938, there was a 21-gun salute, speeches, and a ceremonial shovel full of dirt. Then the canal company went bankrupt, partly because railroads were doing well. Yeah, and that was a good way to haul freight at the time. But that is, I didn't know the history of that. Yeah, that didn't quite make it, but they did have a day. They did have a day back in 1838 with 21-gun salute, speeches, and a ceremonial shovel full of dirt. Okay, on we go. July 19th, 2005, not too long ago now, Michigan requires an ID to buy cold pills. Restricted purchase of pseudoephedrine and ephedrine. Under 18 can't buy products with those drugs as the only active ingredient. Over 18, only 2 packages and 48 tablets a transaction. Interesting. All right, let's move on. On this date in 1980, the Summer Olympics opened in this city, and I know what it is already. The United States boycotted to protest the host country's invasion of Afghanistan, and that was Moscow. The Russians invaded Afghanistan, and that is Red Square. And if you look down in the toward the bottom there, there's quite a few people there for some reason. I don't know if those are they had some kind of rally going on there, something like that, May Day or something like that. And that is Red Square. You can see the clock tower there over on the left. And I've never been there. I've known people that have been there. Michelle has been to Russia, but she has been to St. Petersburg, and as part of a cruise. She's never been to Moscow. I don't think she's been to Moscow. Okay. July 19th in history from Alex, some information. 1864, the defeat of Heavenly Kingdom, the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom, the Chinese state led by a man named Hong, who claimed to be the second son of God. 1969, car drives off a bridge at Chappaquiddick Island. That involves Senator Ted Kennedy and Mary Jo Kopechne. That was in 1969, so that's a long time ago now. 1977, the world's first GPS signal was transmitted. That's kind of interesting that it was back that far. But, I started on TV in 1974, so nobody knew of GPS when I first started on TV. Some birthdays today. Charles Mayo of the Mayo Clinic, which is located in Rochester, Minnesota. Born in 1865, George McGovern, born in 1922. He was a fighter pilot in World War II. Pleasant guy, but he didn't quite make it as a presidential candidate. He lost 49 states, including his own home state of South Dakota, He did carry Massachusetts, and I believe that was the only state he carried. Richard Nixon carried 49 states in that election. And Christopher Luxon, currently New Zealand's prime minister, was born in 1970. That makes me feel old. I was born in 1951, so I was in college when he was born, and he's now the head of the prime minister of New Zealand. Never been there. I bet you Michelle's going to get there at some point in time. I really do. All right. Let's take a look at some pictures here. Beautiful sunset. I'm assuming that's sunset. It might be sunrise. Scattering of clouds up in the sky. This is from Dave Verhoeven. This is Lake Cadillac. And you can see the sun. If you take a look at where the sun sets, each and every day now, it's moving just ever so slightly to the south as we move through July and into August. Next picture. And this is, remember the picture I had from Tony up earlier? Same kind of thing here. We've got some high clouds and we've got some low clouds, and low clouds are white and darker gray depending on the sun's light that is going through them and hitting them directly. And beautiful beach scene there. John, thanks for sending that along. John's, of course, over toward the Grand Haven, Muskegon area. And we have one more picture here from John Doherty up in Benzie County. That is Queen's Anne's Lace, and you can tell we're to midsummer because you can now see the Queen Anne's Lace opening up along the roadsides. Even in some city areas, you can occasionally spot some Queen Anne's Lace, but this is mainly out in the country. You see that, and you see the blue flowers, which I always call the cornflower. I believe that might be called chicory, but the blue color and the white color in the Queen Anne's Lace dot our rural roads here in Michigan. So you can look for the Queen Anne's Lace there. Interesting. It's a relative of the carrot family, as you can see there. Interesting. Well, hey, we've made it to the end of our presentation. I am on the road, actually in the air, and then on the sea, and on the rails and on the road. So I will be occasionally chiming in, sending some pictures along as well. And Michelle will be kind of taking over for me here. I want to wish you a great weekend and a good week next week. Again, today, stay up with later forecast, as we do have that slight risk for thunderstorms, though again, the most likely area to see severe weather would be south of Grand Rapids. Thanks again for checking with us, and have a great weekend.